The jester pulled something out from inside his coat, making the police officers nervous. It was a pair of handcuffs. He cuffed his own hands tightly, making sure they were secure. And then, boom! The handcuffs suddenly appeared on the officer's wrists. A man named John was walking aimlessly, unaware that a strange figure was following him closely from behind. Whether it was instinct or something else, he suddenly felt a deep longing for his daughter, Emma. He called her, apologized for his past mistakes, and didn't forget to send his regards to her mother. But then, the jester suddenly appeared beside him, slowly approaching, gently caressing John's shoulder. Out of nowhere, a thick rope magically wrapped itself around John's neck. The jester straightened his own tie, and with that motion, the rope around John's neck tightened. Magically, without anyone touching it, the rope strangled John to death. At his funeral, we are introduced to Emma and Sean, siblings who are clearly not on good terms. Emma spots the jester dancing in front of their father's grave, but she chooses to ignore it. Two cemetery workers see the strange man and tell him to leave as the ceremony is over. One of them, Jimmy, tells his friend Paul to call the police, but the jester refuses to go. Suddenly, Jimmy trips and hits his head on a stone. Paul, startled, notices that his shoelaces are tied together, even though he doesn't remember doing it. The police soon arrive and ask if anyone is willing to file a report. But before Paul can speak, he starts choking and vomits up an entire apple from deep inside his body. Emma and Sean talk for the first time in a while. They share memories of their father's death, but the conversation soon turns bitter. Emma accuses Sean of always being the favorite, saying their father never treated her fairly. Frustrated, she walks off. Outside, she meets the jester, who silently offers her a card. Emma ignores him, but when she turns, he's suddenly standing right in front of her. She panics and runs into a nearby shop, begging the store clerk for help. Elsewhere, a pair of kids are out trick-or-treating. One honest, the other greedy. The honest boy politely asks the jester for candy. The jester gives him one piece, with a small magic trick. But the greedy boy mocks the jester, saying it's a cheap trick, and demands more candy. The jester smiles, and then makes all the candy disappear, magically transferring it into the greedy boy's bag. But when the greedy boy reaches in to take it back, a hand suddenly reaches out from inside the bag and grabs his wrist. Both boys scream in terror and run. Later that night, Emma buys a bottle of beer. Once again, the jester appears, offering her a card. This time, Emma loses her temper. She shoves the jester, causing her beer to fall and shatter on the ground. The jester picks up one of the glass shards and slices his own throat right in front of her. Blood pours violently, soaking Emma in crimson. The jester collapses, dead. But then, without warning, he stands up again, completely fine. Emma is horrified. Terrified, Emma returns to the store and calls the police. She explains everything she's seen. At first, the officers don't believe her. But then, the jester appears again. He calmly reaches into his coat and pulls out a pair of handcuffs. In a strange gesture, he handcuffs himself, showing cooperation. Then, boom, the cuffs suddenly disappear. The next second, they're locked around the wrists of both officers. The jester removes his hat, gently places it on the head of one officer, and his head disappears. Panic erupts. People scream. Emma runs for her life. The remaining officer pulls out his gun and fires, but the horror only intensifies. The jester catches the bullets mid-air. Guns don't work. He can't be harmed. No matter where she runs, Emma feels like she's being followed. Then suddenly, she sees her father, still alive, bound by ropes just like before. She follows him into a dark, surreal space, a strange dimension ruled by the jester. Inside, she finds herself surrounded by her family, her father and Sean. Inside a house, Emma walks in and sees her family again. Sean is there, holding a knife. He looks at her and says, "You've always been a burden." He approaches, but instead of attacking, he suddenly says, "Emma, wake up." Emma realizes this might all be an illusion, but she's confused, lost between reality and dream. In panic, she stabs Sean. The nightmare doesn't end. Everything is twisted and horrifying. Whether this is reality, a dream, or a trap, Emma can no longer tell. The story ends in fear, and in the last moment of closeness between Emma and her brother. The jester still lingers, dancing in the shadows, waiting for his next victim.